Okay, let's look at the directions for these parajumbles. In each question, there are 5 sentences that form part of a paragraph. The sentence labeled A is in its correct place. The 4 that follow are labeled B, C, D, and E and need to be arranged in a logical order to form a coherent paragraph or passage. And then from the given options, choose the most appropriate option. Okay, let's see the first sentence which is given to us first. A. Given the atrocities perpetrated with impunity by state forces, it is a moral imperative that the negotiations scheduled to resume at the United Nations this month on a comprehensive treaty to regulate the sale of conventional arms should succeed. Now we have to find the sentence that should immediately follow A, or in other words, should form a mandatory pair with A. And that's going to be the starting sentence of our sequence. Now you see that there is a mention of negotiations in sentence A. Now if we go to sentence E, however, opposition by the United States, Russia, China, and India, besides others, to link the trade in arms to the observance of human rights and humanitarian law by recipient countries threatens to block progress. Okay, now what is this progress being talked about? This progress is obviously, the progress that is being talked about is progress in those negotiations. So you see, you can link back sentence E as immediately following sentence A, and therefore E has to start the sequence. So if I'm sure of that, then I can immediately eliminate sentence 1 and sentence 2, and I need to concentrate only on 3, 4, and 5. So after E, which should come first? Should it be D or should it be C? Now let's look at sentence C. C says, every year over 300,000 people are killed by conventional weapons and millions injured, forcibly displaced, and bereaved because of armed violence, according to Amnesty International. And B says, its recent report calls on countries to codify the so-called Golden Rule, not to allow the transfer of arms to states where there is a threat of grave abuses of human rights and humanitarian law. So its recent report clearly connects to Amnesty International. So I know that CB forms a mandatory pair. Okay, and let's look at sentence D. The consensus that has emerged since the 2006 resolution for a global pact on underwriting provisions related to protection of human rights and fundamental freedoms in the proposed treaty is also a tacit recognition of the brutalities committed systematically against innocent civilians in the conflict zones. So obviously you can see that D sort of sums up all the brutalities that are mentioned in sentence C and sentence B. So D will necessarily have to follow them. So which means after E it will be C followed by B and therefore D. Okay, so option 4, which says ECBD, is therefore the right answer choice for this question.